In recognition of Nelson Mandela's contribution to peace, freedom, and reconciliation, the United Nations General Assembly declared the 18th of July as Nelson Mandela International Day. 6 years later, the General Assembly adopted the revised UN Standard Minimum Rules for the treatment of prisoners, also known as the Nelson Mandela Rules. The scope of the International Day was extended to include and highlight advocacy of the Nelson Mandela Rules to honor the legacy of the former president of South Africa, who spent 27 years in prison.
History behind the UN Standard Minimum Rules for treatment of prisoners goes back to 1955, when following the atrocities of two world wars, the UN member states decided to come up with key essential elements for dealing with prisoners. In 2011, the UN General Assembly established the Intergovernmental Expert Group to review the standard minimum rules to meet the challenges of the 21st century. It has taken few years for the expert group to develop and finalize the minimum standard rules, and South Africa played a key role in this process. In 2015, the South African government hosted this expert group level meeting in Cape Town, which significantly advanced the review process. Subsequently, in 2015, the UN General Assembly adopted unanimously the United Nations Minimum Standard Rules for treatment of prisoners and named them the Nelson Mandela Rules.
We support and promote the United Nations Nelson Mandela Rules for the treatment of prisoners. Of course, we dream of a world in which there are no prisons, but we add our voice to the global call for humane prison programs. Nelson Mandela taught us that one of the most accurate measures of a society is the way in which it treats those it has incarcerated. Let us build societies which measure themselves in liberatory ways. Let us honor Nelson Mandela by prioritizing values like respect and empowerment. Let us put as much into violence prevention and rehabilitation as we do into law enforcement.
The Nelson Mandela Rules call for us to promote humane conditions of imprisonment, raise awareness about prisoners being a continuous part of society, and value the work of prison staff as a social service of particular importance.
The United Nations commitment to leave no one behind recognizes prisoners as a particularly vulnerable and marginalized group prone to discrimination and exclusion. Sufficiently resourced and well-managed prison services and other correctional services which advance non-custodial measures are important enablers of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The UN Common Position on treatment of prisoners is firmly grounded on the Mandela Rules. We, the United Nations country team in South Africa, we are committed to the Mandela Rules.